Everybody, today I'm going to be reading a book about bugs, which bug uses a flashlight. As you can see here, what's it called again? A firefly. Yeah, I keep forgetting about this because it's been a long time since I haven't read this book. So I hope you find this book interesting. Just skipping 2 pages. What is an insect? An insect is an animal with 3 pairs of legs and 3 parts to its body. The 3 parts are the head, thorax, and abdomen, beginning, middle, and its end. Its head has a mouth, eyes, and long antenna, also called feelers. Its body is protected by a hard outer shell. Most insects have wings. Is a spider an insect? No. It belongs to a group of animals called arachnids. A spider has 8 legs. An insect has only 6. A spider has 2 parts of its body. Has 2 parts to its body, and it cannot fly. Which bug has more than 100 legs? An centipede. The name means 100 feet. However, not all centipedes have 100 legs. They can have as many as 350 legs, 175 pairs of feet. Because a centipede has more than 6 legs, 1 million kinds of insects, and there are more. Scientists think that there are maybe as many as 3 million more kinds of insects still to discover. Do insects have skeletons? No, an insect does not have a skeleton. Instead, it has an outer shell that covers its soft body and protects its harm from outside the skeleton. And protects its soft body and protects it. Instead, it has an outer shell that covers its soft body and protects it from harm. This outside skeleton has a name: exoskeleton. Please excuse that I'm stuttering. I'm just beginning to read since it's like my 6th video about me reading. Which insect is a giant? The giant stick insect is one of the longest insects on Earth. It is about the length from your elbow to your fingertip. Out of silk. The silk is made inside the spider's body. This is not the kind of silk that is made into cloth for dresses and necklaces and neckties. The spider squeezes out thin silk threads through the parts of the body called spinnerets. The spinnerets are at the end of its body. The spider and find a sturdy place to place and anchor the web when it begins to weave. The silk is runny but turns hard in the air. How does a web trap food? The web is sticky. An insect flies the insect inside throat, inside silk threads, but they like to sit on banana leaves. A wandering spider found in Brazil often rests on the leaves of the banana plant. It has a very poisonous bite. One drop of its poison is enough to kill a mouse. Fun fact: spitting spiders do not spin webs to catch insects. Instead, they spit a sticky substance all over them. What? Then the spiders quickly move into to deliver a nasty bite that kills their prey. Predators are animals that eat other insects. Prey are animals that eat predator. Prey are animals that predators eat. Which spider is the size of a plate? The giant Goliath bird-eating tarantula is huge. Including its long, hairy legs, it can measure more than 10 inches, 25 centimeters long. It lives in the South American rainforest and comes out at night to hunt for insects and mammals to eat. What lives outside? You can find a lot. You may see spiders, insects, slugs, spiders, ants, slugs, worms, and centipedes. Do not touch the bugs. Always put the rock gently away. Put the rock gently back. Now you know. Sloths are so dirty that tiny green living things called algae grow on their fur. Some creepy crawlies such as beetles, fleas, and plant-eating moths also live in the sloth's fur. Which beetle turns fog into water? The darkling beetle from the Namib Desert in Africa. It sticks its bottom up in the air. Fog from the sea turns it into dew in its back and runs down its mouth. Whose blood doesn't freeze? Insects called springtails. They have chemicals in their bodies to stop their blood from freezing in the bitter cold. These tiny insects live in Antarctica, the coldest, windiest place on Earth. How high can they get? To the roof of the world. Jumping spiders on Mount Everest, the world's tallest mountain. It is the highest place that a spider has ever been found. Which insect skates? The pond skater. This insect looks like as if it's walking in the water. The pond skater has pads of waxy waterproof hairs on the ends of its legs. The pads help it to stay on top of water as it darts across the water's large surface. The pond skater needs to move quickly to catch its food. It eats other insects that fall in the water. Fun fact: caterpillars of the China mark moths live underwater. They live in tents that make from bits of plants and leaves. Where do spiders live by sea? A kind of wolf spider lives along the seashore in Australia and Tasmania. At low tide, it hunts for food on the beach. At high tide, it hides in a burrow. It weaves a silk door to hide the burrow. Which insects snorkel? Dronefly larvae. Larvae are young flies that are not fully formed. Dronefly larvae live in ponds and streams and streams. They stick their long tails out above their surface to breathe. Which insect dives? The diving beetle. It stores bubbles of air under its wings and uses them to breathe when it swims underwater. Then it comes up tail first for more air. Which bug uses a flashlight? A female glowworm. She shines in the dark to attract a male. She cannot fly but sits on the grass and flashes out a message with her tail. She waits for a male to fly by and answer. Glowworms are not worms at all, but they are a kind of beetle. Who has hairy eyes? Insects. Hair covers all parts of an insect's of insect, even its eyes. Insects' eyes are made of thousands of lenses. A lens is a clear and lets light in. Insects can see upward, downward, backward, forward at all the same time. Insects' eyes never close and are very good at seeing motion and color. They even have a special name, compound eyes. Can insects taste with their feet? Yes. Butterflies, beetles, and flies taste with their feet. When they land on food, they use their taste organs on their feet to tell them if the food is good to eat or not. Why do insects need their feelers? To smell. An insect uses its feelers to pick up odors. Feelers also help insects to feel their way around. An insect's feelers are on its head and also called antenna. Moth. Fun fact. Fun facts. A cricket does not have ears on its head. They are on its front legs instead. The ears are tiny holes with skin stretched over them. Who builds giant nests? Termite, tiny insects who build giant nests called mounds. They can be 20 feet, 6 meters tall, and are made from tiny bits of mud stuck together with termite spit. Millions of termites live inside a mound. Inside a termite mound is a maze of dozens of tunnels and rooms. The queen has her own room. The queen's job is to lay eggs that become more termites. Big soldier termites protect the mound against enemies, usually ants. Who makes nests out of art? Wasps. Some wasps make their nests out of kind of paper mache. They chew up strings of wood to make paper and then smash it together with dollops of spit. Where do babies probably live? Where do baby scorpions ride? On their mother's back. They like to travel until they're old enough to look after themselves. Scorpions can have up to 100 babies. Fun fact. Dung beetles roll up balls of animal droppings or dung and lay their eggs inside the dung balls. When the babies hatch, they have lots of dung to eat. Who hides for 17 years? A kind of cicada. Many insects take a long time to grow up. Some cicadas take 17 years. That's how long they spend underground as babies, called nymphs. In their 17th year, they crawl out of the ground, change into adults, lay eggs, and die all in a few weeks. What is a caterpillar? It's a baby butterfly. Butterfly babies do not look like their parents. Their bodies have to go through amazing changes over many weeks before they are fully grown and become or turn into a butterfly. Here you can see how a butterfly grows. The special way of growing is called metamorphosis. 1. Laying eggs. A female butterfly lays her eggs on a leaf. 2. Hatching out. The eggs hatch into caterpillars. 3. Lots of eating. The caterpillars munch on leaves and grow very quickly. 4. Hanging out. Each caterpillar makes itself a hard case, called a pupa. 5. Flying out. Inside the pupa, the caterpillar changes into a butterfly. The pupa splits open, and then the butterfly flies out. What is a nymph? A baby insect. A dragonfly, for example, lays its eggs in a pond for stream. The eggs hatch into babies called nymphs. As it grows, a nymph looks like an adult. It sheds its skin and the adult comes out. Fun fact. Most adult insects do not live long. Mayflies, for example, may spend 2 to 3 years as nymphs, but they only live 1 day as adults. Is a butterfly a fly? No, it's not. Flies have only 1 pair of wings. Butterflies, bees, and dragonflies have 2 pairs. Insect wings are all shapes, colors, and sizes. They're crisscrossed by tiny, hollow tubes that made them strong enough for flying. Many butterflies have brightly colored wings with bright shapes and patterns. Fun facts. Monarch butterflies fly from Canada to Mexico every year. That's more than 2175 miles, 3,500 kilometers. Which insect zooms? A dragonfly. Some dragonflies can reach top speeds of 60 miles, 97 kilometers an hour. This means they could overtake a galloping horse. Which insect hums? A mosquito. You can tell when a mosquito is nearby by the humming sound it makes. Its wings make it the sound because they are beating so fast, about 1,000 times a second. How do grasshoppers sing? By rubbing their wings against their legs. Some male grasshoppers do this to attract females. Which insects jump? Grasshoppers are excellent jumpers. They have long, strong back legs, which they help them into the air. To escape from enemies, grasshoppers push themselves up with their back legs and leap into the air from where they're sitting at. Some grasshoppers jump about 20 times their body length. Human long jumpers leaps about 5 times their body length. When do bees like to dance? When they find food. Bees fly back to the hive and dance. The dance tells other bees where they can find food. Can spiders fly? Yes, without wings. Some baby spiders hatch and they spin loosened silk threads. The baby spider lets go of its perch. The threads catch the breeze and the spider floats away to find a new home. This is called ballooning. They can travel for almost a mile like this. Fun facts. Some ants march in huge armies. Swarms of army ants march through rainforests, eating anything that gets in their way. An army may have as many as 20 million ants. Can you outrun a cockroach? Probably not. Some cockroaches are world record runners. They can sprint along at a speed of about 3.5 miles, 5.5 kilometers an hour. That would be like you running as fast as a race car. What? Who eats the carpet? Carpet beetle babies. Carpet beetles lay their eggs in carpets. Tiny hair babies called grubs hatch out and chew holes in the carpet. Which ants are fat? Honey ants. Some honey ants eat so much honeydew they swell up. Honeydew is a liquid food gathered from aphids, a very small insect that feeds on plant juices. These ants cannot move, so they hang from the nest ceiling. When the other ants get hungry, the honey ants squeeze out honey for them. Who drinks tears? Some tropical moths. Usually they drink tears from such animals such as horses, pigs, and deer, but they will also drink tears from humans. Which spider fishes? The neck-casting spider. The spider spins a small, strong net of sticky threads. It holds out the net in its legs when an insect passes by. The spider throws the net over it traps it and traps the prey. Who fires a gas cloud? A bombardier beetles. They spray their enemies with a cloud of hot, stinging gas that they fire from their underparts or abdomen. The spray makes a popping sound. This type of beetle is an excellent shot and can swivel its abdomen around to take better aim. Which baby lives in a bubble? Baby froghoppers. Nymphs of the meadow spittlebeetle or froghopper group together and make a clump of white bubbles to cover themselves. The bubbles protect them from being eaten or drying out in the sun. Which insect froth at the mouth? Leopard grasshoppers when they are in danger. They froth at the mouth to make their breath smell terrible. The grasshoppers can't fly away from its enemies, but its smelly breath helps it keep it safe. Fun fact: grain weevils fall off twigs if they are scared. If this weevil is in danger, it will drop off its perch and fall into the ground. It lies very still without moving and pretends to be dead so that the enemy will leave it alone. Who does gymnastics? Click beetles. If a click beetle lands on its back, it just does a somersault into its front again. It arches its back, then flips over with a loud click. Which insect has petals? The orchard mantis has wings that are shaped like petals. It looks like and has the same color as an orchard, a kind of flower. This makes it hard for enemy mantis to be seen by the insect. It wants to catch and eat. When other insects come along, it will land near mantis because it thinks it's a flower. The mantis then pounces on it and eats it. Fun fact: some spiders just look like bird droppings on a leaf. No wonder their enemies leave them alone. Why are there some insects? Why are there some insects invisible? They are the same color. They are the same color as their surroundings. This is camouflage. This is called camouflage. This makes them very hard to see, and their enemies can't find and eat them. Who has enormous eyes? The puss moth caterpillar. In England, the caterpillar of a puss moth has big, staring eyes to frighten its enemies. These are not real eyes; they're only markings. In the southern U.S., the puss moth caterpillar looks furry and extremely touchable. But when you touch it, you get stung by all the soft-looking hairs. It's called an asp caterpillar for this reason. Do insects help plants? Yes. Insects carry pollen from flower to flower. This helps more plants grow. Bees visit a flower to lap up its nectar, a tasty juice, while they are sitting on the flower. They get covered in flowers' pondry pollen. They then carry this pollen to the next flower. This flower uses the pollen to make its seeds that grow into new plants. Scientists call this process pollination. Which insect can make people ill? Mosquitoes. Some of these tiny insects can make you ill. One kind of mosquito can spread a dangerous disease called malaria. Another kind can spread the West Nile virus. Still, another spreads yellow fever. Which insect can cause a lot of damage? A swarm of locusts. A swarm is as many as a million insects. A swarm of locusts can eat huge amounts of food every day. If a swarm attacks a field, it can eat the whole crop in a few minutes. Who loves ladybugs? Gardeners. These insects help to protect the garden plants by eating aphids, mealybugs, and mites which harm plants. Fun fact: some people, particularly in England, keep worms in wormeries, which is a container filled with soil. Others enjoy an unusual hobby known as worm charming. They try to make worms come out of the ground by jumping up and down and making it sound like rain. Do bugs make clothing? Do bugs make clothes? Yes. Silk is made by silkworms. The silk caterpillar of the silk moth. We use the same silk to make the cloth. that is all for today. Thank you for listening to this book. Hope you like enjoying it, and I'll see you guys in the next book I post.